Ciao all, Thomas here. So there's been some new stuff coming out about the reboot of Winx Club, also known as Season 9. I refuse to call it Season 9 because a reboot is not a new season. It's just a new iteration of an IP. Anyway, so we've gotten some new clips recently. There was a leak, apparently, and in response to that, it seems Rainbow kind of went into damage control mode and was like, okay, fine, you're going to leak our shit? We're just going to show our shit then, because it's already out there, so we might as well. Which honestly is kind of nice, because they've been so like tight-lipped about the reboot stuff and infinitely delaying it. I feel like this has kind of injected a little bit more interest into the reboot as a project. Personally, I'm kind of interested, but I'm not like on bated breath for it. You know, I found recently that I don't really have a hunger for like new seasons of shows or things like this the way that I used to, mostly just because I've expanded my media diet to the point where other stuff will feed me. I will just go elsewhere, and if you come up with a new season, I will check it out, but I'm not going to be on hiatus brain anymore. And I'm kind of skeptical about this reboot project in general, because Rainbow historically has not really shown an ability to understand fans and what they want. It's a continual misreading of what they want. Like Fate the Winx Saga, girl, no one wanted that. Ugh.
Girl. This girl is delusional.
I am kind of intrigued to see if they can salvage this franchise, because at this point, a reboot is literally your only chance. You know, you can get new viewers, but also potentially cater to old viewers who like want to see a fresh take on the original story. I'm not sure whether they're gonna like just redo the whole Dragon Flame arc of the first 3 seasons, especially because like there's always been the wizards showing up, like the Wizards of the Black Circle in all the promo art. No clue what that's about. So I have no idea what the hell they're gonna do. But I'm kind of hoping a little bit, because I kind of like what we've gotten to see so far. So first we have this clip of Bloom in her bedroom, presumably in Gardenia. From my understanding, it's an animation test to like figure out what this style is going to look like in motion, you know, because the reboot's going to be like in full 3D and they're trying to figure out what style they want to go with. They're trying to see if they can actually pull it off. So if it looks a little bit rough, that's probably why. I doubt they had much time to polish it when the tests got leaked, but it's cute. I'm not sure how I feel about this art style in general. It looks kind of like off-brand Pixar to me. I will say I like it more than the art style from the movies, and especially from seasons 5 and 6. You know, it looks pretty expressive. I feel like I need to see more of it to really figure out how I feel about it. I think I like the look of the characters in that other clip that we've gotten of Bloom and Mitzi, which we'll get to later. But this one of Bloom, she looks fine. I think the thing that's throwing me off is her bangs are different from how I've always been used to them, and it's thrown me off a lot. But her outfit is kind of cute. It's kind of giving like late 2000s, early 2010s kind of Disney Channel vibe, which I can take it or leave it. But personally, I think it's cute. You know, I like the vest, like the cozy vest. I like the denim skirt. I like the leggings. I see Tetsuya Nomura had a hand in this because of plaid. I think my only issue is the fact that like so much of this outfit is pink. Like, girl, give it up. Give Bloom her yellow accents back, please. I beg of you, give her yellow back, please. So anyway, Bloom is sitting at her desk and she's trying to draw, it seems, and she's really struggling because she hates everything that she creates. And I'm like me when I try to do like literally anything. Girl, I feel you. This alone makes me so happy because I have desperately missed artist Bloom. Like, you remember like in the early seasons, Bloom would always draw a lot. Like her room was covered in these fantasy drawings from the books about fairies and magic she would always read.
Did you draw these? Yes. They're amazing. Sorry, I'm a bit nosy.
And as the show went on, her drawing skills got phased out slowly and forgotten. There's a little nod to it in World of Winx, but it barely counts.
Nice dog. It's a horse.
And I'm really happy to see this. Bloom has become so bland and generic that it feels nice to see her re-engage with hobbies and reassume a lot of her older personality traits. I think specifically this vibe of a girl who really loves drawing but is not really happy or satisfied with her skill level is really relatable to a lot of people, especially the artsy girlies, the Tumblr girlies. I see you, bitches. You know, Bloom is kind of giving like weird core Tumblr girly, and she kind of always gave that energy to me, and I love that for her. And you're valid. You know, it makes her feel a bit more grounded and realistic of a character. So she's struggling to draw, she gets really frustrated, and she ends up setting the pages on fire. So this is obviously meant to be a moment of her like catching on to the fact she has magic and she's terrified by this. And I kind of love this for her, the idea of her magic like slowly seeping out before she realizes it, because I'm assuming this is before she meets Stella. This is before she realizes that she's a fairy. You know, it makes sense that her magic would seep out because she doesn't really know about it, and thus she wouldn't know how to control it. So it would flare up with her temper, which also having angry, impulsive Bloom back feels really good. The accidental arson kind of reminds me of when she nearly accidentally set her dress on fire in like that that episode of like the first dance of Althea. Great stuff. So Bloom accidentally sets the paper on fire. She fails to put it out, and then she just drops it into this little fish tank in the background. She's already such a mess. I love her. I love her so much. I'm not sure how I feel about the way her hair moves in this animation, especially because it looks like it randomly changes length at certain points. That's probably just because it's a test. I don't know. I do like the coloring on it, though. The way that it, you know, it's red at the roots, darker, and then it lightens towards the bottom to look like a flame. I really like that. I think that's a really cute touch. It signals the fire connection for her. It makes her look a little bit more unique compared to other redheads in media. I love it. So this Bloom is giving very awkward, very accidental arsonist, and I'm here for it. I do feel there is a danger of her falling into quirky territory, and I feel like in general, we're very over the quirky girl kind of vibe. I guess Bloom kind of always has been quirky, but like not in a 2010s Disney protagonist kind of way where it's like incredibly contrived and meant to make her more like hashtag relatable. More like in a genuine like, this girl is ditzy and just kind of not living in the real world kind of thing. So I guess I am kind of worried about that, but you know, that's more something to watch out for. I think right now we're fine. I really like the way that they conveyed Bloom's personality here. I will say I am kind of alarmed that she has the bookshelf that has her name. It's giving like the season 5 and 6 dorms where they have posters of themselves everywhere and their bookshelves are literally their signatures. And I'm like, okay, I get it for branding, but like you're not helping with the narcissist allegations, girlies. Especially you, Bloom. By season 5, girl, get it checked.
So tell me everything is not about me, but what if it is?
But yeah, I like this. And then there's that other scene of Bloom and Mitzi in what I assume is like their high school bathroom. There are different versions of this. One is a more bland, generic bathroom, and then another is like a yassified one where it's all pink and there is like more furniture and cabinets everywhere. And I'm assuming that yassified one is like a final version, whereas the other one is a more generic version. It might just be pre-existing assets. I'm not sure. It looks a little bit cutesy, but you know, that's kind of to be expected, especially from modern Winx. It doesn't look bad. It's just kind of like very generic, very Y. I'm not sure how I feel about the way that Mitzi looks. I mean, like, it's very clearly Mitzi. It's just, it's not a bad look, but there's something about her that feels a bit too cutesy. Do you get what I mean? Like she doesn't feel like viciously mean like she does in the original. But clearly for whatever reason, Mitzi's pissed at Bloom and Bloom's trying to like, you know, assuage her. She makes this dorky ass face that like the people in my server have been losing their minds over it. And me too. Cause like This is giving pure dorky Bloom. This is giving like, please don't ruin my life energy. Like it's giving like well-meaning gremlin energy. And I'm here for that kind of Bloom. So she's upset for whatever reason. And Bloom seems to sense something is going wrong. I'm not sure what exactly, but she pulls Mitzi into a stall to like protect her, presumably from whatever's outside.
Not good.
It's some kind of monster. I've also been seeing like pictures of this weird shadow goblin thing that's like on all fours. I'm not sure what the hell that is. I'm assuming it's missing from like the other clips of this scene. Maybe because these are also tests, so it wasn't really rendered in. It's kind of hard to tell what this design is because it's like fully covered in shadow. I kind of like how freaky it looks, but at the same time, I feel like it's very... It's also giving generic. It is. Like the red little demon things from the first episode that, served nut, I feel like were way more unique, way more visually striking than this thing. Like, yeah, it's scary, but I've also seen it 5 million times. And I'm also not sure why it's here and why Mitzi can't see it. Maybe it's a thing where Earth people can't see magic or magical creatures. Like they can't perceive them, but Bloom can because she's magical. It would explain why only Bloom seems to know that it's there. So it could be the same rule as like pixies in the original series, where like only magical creatures and also kids and animals can see them.
I guess NMBs can't see him. Yeah, well then how do you explain the little girl?
Maybe little Earthlings have magic in them.
I bet they're born with magic and then grow out of it.
Which I think would be pretty cool. I think that would actually be kind of interesting to see like how that shakes out in the reboot, if that's the route they're going. Again, I'm not sure what this monster could be. It's definitely not nut. It looks like a minion monster, not like minion pills. I have to specify that. I mean like a servant. I would say it's sent by the Tricks, except the Tricks don't seem to be in any of the promo art, so maybe it's a black circle monster. Maybe it's Dumon. In which case, girl, you couldn't have gone with this iconic beast form of his, with the signature black and red pink color palette. You had to go with this ugly generic thing, really? Good Jesus.
Come here, fairies. Come give us a nice big hug.
Meanwhile.
But I am interested to see how this shakes out. I'm wondering how the school setting will play into this, because we didn't see Bloom's high school like at all in the show. It was literally just her chilling in Gardenia, and then she goes to the park, meets Stella, and then bam, it's off to Althea. So maybe there will be a more interesting plot of her discovering magic and meeting Stella in the first place. See, that's kind of the exciting thing, is we don't know what they're going to be doing. We don't know how exactly this is going to shake out. I'm assuming it's just clean slate, start all over. I remember seeing some comments from Rainbow that it's not like a full-on reboot, in which case I'm like, girl, just do a full-on reboot. Do not leave anything left behind, because at that point, you're just confusing who the show is actually for again. There is one other piece of artwork I wanted to touch on. No, it's not their casual outfits, because like the last time I talked about it, Rainbow struck me from the fucking heavens, because apparently that was also a leak and I didn't realize it, and everyone who covered it on YouTube got a copyright strike. But I'm going to take my chances here. So these are presumably their fairy forms, and I don't know how I feel about them. Bloom's looks like Diet Cosmics. It just does, and I don't like that. Muse's hair is kind of cute. I like the little hair loopies. I like the arm warmer with all like the little fishnets. Thank God she's actually in red. Tekna, I'm thinking they might actually go the robot route for Tekna, which like I'm not sure how I feel about that, because she has these little bends in her shoes, but they're at the knee, and she has those in her casual outfit too, which would to me imply she's a robot. I do like the weird circuit pattern in her wings though. Those are cute. Although it looks kind of like their wings are all very similar. Like the shapes are very similar. It's just the patterns that vary slightly. Stella's is fine. I do like this mix of purple and orange that she has. I do wish it was more blue and orange though, because I feel like those were more interesting of a color palette for her, especially because the blue could tie to her lunar side and also to Bloom. Oh, who am I kidding? She's still the fairy of the fucking sun. Like, and only the sun. Fuck the moon. I forgot. The moon gets no rights here. Flora is super cute. I'm loving this braided ponytail. Her dress is like covered in flowers. I can't get a good look at it. I am a bit worried it'll be like too busy like her Mythics outfit, but I like the vibe so far, and I love all the flowers in her hair. She's really giving like aggressive flower child. Aisha, ooh, girl, that hair is beautiful. I don't know, how do y'all feel about her hair? I kind of actually really like how it's styled. Like, it looks like she's got braids. They're leaning into like the texture of her hair, which is nice because they seem to have been slowly removing the natural texture of her hair in the actual show. So if they lean back into this, thank you, Rainbow. The fit though, it's fine. I kind of like the color on her. I like this like turquoisey color, but it's not as iconic as her Magic Winx form. And that's kind of my issue with these fairy forms in general. They feel very busy, without actually being that iconic or memorable to me. The original Magic Winx forms were simple, but they were deeply iconic and memorable. Whereas these feel like they're leaning into the principle of like busy equals good, which no, it don't. It don't. Because like they don't stand out to me all that much. It just feels like unnecessary detail for the sake of unnecessary detail. I'd need to see them actually like moving in like animation to see how I fully feel about it. I don't hate them. I think it's fine, but like it's not, I'm not in love. So yeah, those are my thoughts on all the pieces of the reboot that we have so far. I am cautiously optimistic. I am kind of interested to see how they go about this, but I will say, Rainbow, this is your last fucking chance. Because if you fuck this up, I don't want to speak for the whole fandom, but I feel like our trust has just been so thoroughly burned over the years at this point that like, ooh, girl, if you fuck this up, it's telling me you never understood us. But you know, even if the reboot flops, seasons 1 through 3 will always be there for us in our darkest hour. So that gives me hope at least. So, yeah. That's it. That's all I've got. Go away.